Hey there, YouTubers! Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to their chemistry video. Today we'll be exploring the second column on the periodic table of elements, the alkali earth metals. Today we'll talk briefly about why these elements are in the spot they are, the general characteristics of the group, and then finally I'll talk about each element individually. Now, if you want a detailed explanation as to why the alkali metals are in group 2, then I suggest you watch the first part of my series on the periodic table. Now, group 2 contains the elements beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Now, they're in group 2 because they have two valence electrons and have a full s orbital. Now, helium has those same characteristics, but isn't a part of this group. This is because of energy levels, which I talked about in the first part of this series. The second part of the... Oh, wrong way. These two valence electrons make these elements more reactive than the other metals, but more stable than the alkali metals. They still do react with water to release hydrogen. However, beryllium is the most stable and won't want to do this. Magnesium needs to be heated to high temperatures, or you could react it with vinegar to make hydrogen. Calcium and strontium will react with water at room temperature. Barium, and if you can get your hands on it, radium, will react violently with water, from what I've read. Interestingly enough, they follow the same reactivity pattern as the alkali metals. As they get heavier, the more willing they are to react with water. The metals are still soft, but not as soft as cesium or potassium. They're more like lithium, but stronger and with higher melting and boiling points. However, they are still soft enough that you could cut magnesium ribbon with a pair of scissors. Now, you may have noticed that I keep mentioning magnesium. That's because it's the easiest to get your hands on, followed by barium, at least on Amazon. Beryllium is toxic, calcium is more useful in compounds, radium is radioactive, and strontium, well, I don't know what you use it for, because I haven't written that part of the script yet, so... Beryllium has interesting characteristics that allow it to be used in applications that would surprise you. It's super strong and light, making it great in operations like missiles. Oh, World War III. It can also be mixed with copper to be used as a wrench that won't cause a spark, or in high-tech golf clubs. Because it is toxic and expensive, the government's usually the only consumer, because money means nothing when you have a GDP of $20 trillion. But who's counting? I am. It's also transparent to X-rays, so that's cool and useful. One more thing. Most of the information in this video is found from this book, The Elements, a visual exploration of every known atom in the universe by Theodore Gray. So if you like what you hear and want to know more, check his book out. My love. But not my number one. Osmium. You know how to treat a guy right. Ah! You weren't supposed to see that. Oh, no. Kidding, I'm not gonna shoot anybody. Not today anyways. Different video for a different day. Magnesium. One of my favorites because it is super light and strong and it's flammable. Now, if you've taken high school chemistry, then your teacher has hopefully demonstrated how flammable magnesium is. You're also probably wondering, what uses does a flammable metal have? Great question. Well, as a powder, it was once used as a flash for cameras. In the modern era, the flash has been replaced with an LED flash, but the camera body itself could be made of magnesium. Magnesium's hard to burn in large chunks. This is because the larger chunks of metal can pull the heat away from the source. You will often find it in car parts. Once upon a time, I saw a video where some guys cut up a Ford F-150 bumper and used it as a cheap source of magnesium But again, as once upon a time, I can't find the video, so I can't confirm this is true or not. So don't go cutting apart bumpers of Ford F-150s. Wish this was milk. Calcium. You know, milk would be more soothing. Calcium is the next alkali earth metal. And as a metal, it has no use. That's because it breaks down air. What are you going to do? However, as a compound, it's important in organic chemistry. Mammals' bones, such as ourselves, are comprised of calcium compounds. Are also can be found in eggshells and milk. 2 ingredients for making a cake. Well, the egg, not the egg shells. Don't make a cake using eggshells. No one will have a fun time. Trust me. Woo! Rubidium was the last element I bothered to memorize. And actually, I didn't even bother to memorize rubidium because I memorized all of this. And then I got to strontium, yttrium. I think it's called yttrium. I gave up. But nowadays, if I think it's called yttrium, then you have zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium. That's the next one I'm stuck on. Silver, cadmium, indium, tin, antimony, tellurium, iodine, xenon. Then the next one begins the rare earths, and don't even get me started. I digress. Strontium actually has more uses than I gave it credit for. It's a key ingredient in some glow-in-the-dark paint. It's also part of the active ingredient in toothpaste. It's also known to be a part of nuclear fallout, which is known to be very dangerous. However, the isotope in fallout is strontium-90. You would never run into this isotope in industrial applications of strontium. Unfortunately, strontium has similar chemical properties to calcium, so your body is able to process it. This is fine if you're exposed to, say, strontium-87, but if you're exposed to strontium-90, it's bad because the isotope is radioactive and will kill you. Hiya! Tell me how my form is. Anyways, barium. Barium metal. Literally useless. It's cheap, kind of. Barium metal is useless in the modern age of computers. But back in the vacuum tube days, oh, my back! It was used to get rid of the leftover oxygen and other gases in a vacuum tube after manufacturing. Today, barium is used to form in the form of barium sulfate, which is not transparent to X-rays like beryllium. So if you want to examine the digestive system of some poor sap, you have them take what is known as a barium. However, if they're really unlucky, they won't have to drink it. That doesn't sound like a negative until you find out it has to go up the other way. Gee, I'm late for my business meeting. I wonder what time it is. Oh, 9:52. If it were dark in here, I would still be able to tell that it's 9:52. Gee, it uses electricity. Interesting. That'll come into play here in a minute. Radium. Radium is the heaviest known alkali earth metal. It literally has no uses in the modern world. It shouldn't have any uses. Well, in the modern world, it's used in radon spas, as I've read, and which they use it to make radon. Well, radon is a radioactive gas, right down here, that causes lung cancer. I literally have a fan in my basement that's designed to get rid of the radon. I digress. Radium was most famously used to make glow-in-the-dark watch hands. The watch hands were hand painted, and the only way to get the brush fine enough was to lick it. I shouldn't have to tell you why licking a brush that contains radioactive substances is a bad idea. The people, mostly women, who painted these watches all died of radium-related illnesses. No big surprise. But they helped form modern labor standards. Also, this isn't in the script, but I remember it from the book. There was a device that was literally filled with radium. And gentlemen, would wear it down by their genitalia. It was believed that the radium, the radiation, would increase fertility. I'm just going to point this out. That is an area with rapidly dividing cells. Rapidly dividing cells lead to cancer. Unrelated right now. So you get prostate cancer and you would be infertile because it would kill everything. I'm glad that didn't stick around. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. Well, I'm out of alkali earth metals. Well, for the meantime. But, that's another section of the periodic table done and dusted. Join me in a few weeks where I'll talk about the largest section in the table, the transition metals. But in the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos every other Friday, 2 p.m. Central Time, and good nights. Subs for trees, subs for trees, subs for trees, subs for trees. Oh, you're still here? I thought I told you to go home. Oh, you want more? I'm flattered. Check out the playlist. If you want exclusive content, check out my Instagram, Dr_Sheep_YouTube. That's all lowercase. If you want to help the earth, subscribe. When I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to plant 10 trees. If you feel that's too small, then check out my channel chart where I lay out even bigger goals. Finally, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet watch time. Bye.